The United Nations Declaration on the Rights of Indigenous Peoples, or UNDRIP, is a very important document. It was adopted by the United Nations in 2007. This declaration recognizes the rights of indigenous peoples around the world. It is a victory that came after many years of struggle. Indigenous peoples fought hard for their rights to be recognized. UNDRIP is a treaty, and treaties are laws of the land. And this carries significant moral and political weight. When used correctly, it sets out the minimum standards for the survival, dignity, and well-being of indigenous peoples. This declaration affirms that indigenous peoples are equal to all other peoples. The UNDRIP emphasizes the importance of respecting indigenous cultures. It also highlights the need to protect their languages, religions, and traditional knowledge. This declaration calls on states to work with indigenous peoples in a spirit of partnership. It emphasizes the need to address past injustices. The adoption of the UNDRIP marked a historic moment. It was a significant step towards achieving justice and equality for indigenous peoples. The declaration serves as a beacon of hope. It inspires indigenous communities and individuals worldwide to continue their fight for recognition and self-determination. Self-determination is at the heart of the UNDRIP. This principle recognizes the right of indigenous peoples to freely determine their own political status. They have the right to freely pursue their economic, social, and cultural development. Indigenous peoples have the right to govern themselves. This includes their own affairs and institutions. The right to self-determination is not a privilege. It is a fundamental human right. It is essential for the survival and well-being of indigenous peoples. For centuries, colonialism and oppression have denied indigenous peoples their right to self-determination. This has resulted in the loss of land, languages, and cultures. The UNDRIP affirms that indigenous peoples have the right to participate in decision-making. This includes decisions that affect their lives and lands. They have the right to give or withhold their free, prior, and informed consent to any project. This is especially important for projects that may impact their territories. Recognizing and respecting the right of indigenous peoples to self-determination is crucial. It is crucial for achieving reconciliation and justice. It is also essential for creating a more just and equitable world for all. The UNDRIP recognizes the importance of protecting indigenous cultures and identities. Indigenous cultures are diverse and rich. They are an integral part of the world's heritage. However, these cultures have faced assimilation policies and cultural suppression. The declaration affirms the right of indigenous peoples to revitalize, use, develop, and transmit their histories, languages, oral traditions, philosophies, writing systems, and literatures to future generations. It also recognizes their right to revitalize, practice, and teach their spiritual and religious traditions, customs, and ceremonies. States are urged to take effective measures to protect these rights. They should provide redress for past violations. This includes the return of cultural property taken without free, prior, and informed consent. Protecting indigenous cultures is not just about preserving the past. It is about ensuring that future generations can enjoy their cultural heritage. It is about creating a world where diversity is celebrated and respected. Land is central to indigenous cultures and identities. It is not just a source of livelihood. It is deeply connected to their spiritual beliefs, histories, and ways of life. The UNDRIP recognizes the special relationship indigenous peoples have with their lands, territories, and resources. The declaration affirms their right to own, use, develop, and control their lands and territories. It also recognizes their right to traditional knowledge associated with their lands and resources. This includes the right to the protection of this knowledge. States are obligated to provide effective mechanisms for the recognition of these rights. This includes legal recognition of their customary laws and traditions related to land tenure. Plenipotentiary Chief Nanya Shabu Isles Autochthon Standing Process UNDRIP is a part of the process. Call 587-501-7262.